My family and I visited the Lake of the Ozarks on a recent weekend, and we took the time to do some railfanning, both on the way there and on the way back. Our first stop was in Alton, Illinois, along the Mississippi River. Say hi. All right, we're in Alton, Illinois, right along the Mississippi River and Union Pacific's, what's this called, Cole? Looking for it. A Union Pacific line that maybe shall remain nameless. But we got a switcher coming with a gondola car, and we're going to bring that to you and see if we can find anything else around here. Grand trunk locomotive action. Looking at Rail Guide, I was trying to, looks like this is part maybe of the Springfield East St. Louis Terminal subdivision for Union Pacific, but then this spur just kind of branches off into this industrial area and goes into downtown Alton, and I don't really see a name for it, so I don't know if it's part of that or if it's got its own name. If any of you St. Louis area people watching know, leave it in the comments. I don't see it on the map. Couple of switch locomotives here. Gulf Coast, quite colorful. All right, Cole just did some research on this. Gulf Coast, what is it? Gulf Coast Rail Services. And it's utilized by what company? Recycling? Here comes that gondola and CP Trainspotting. The Union Pacific guy that we were watching is right down here, coming this way maybe. Yep. Jump out of the car. throwing the switch. Water leaking out there. And Grand Trunk is on the move again. It's recycling scraps. Sounds like a 57 Chevy running over there. So we've got Alton Steel here. We've got the recycling company, and there's lots of industrial tracks over here along the Metro East on the east side of the river, east and north from downtown St. Louis. Now here comes Grand Trunk with an empty gondola and a couple of full ones, few full ones. Horn salute, shaving a haircut.
Before leaving the St. Louis Metro East area, we made a quick stop in Caseyville, Illinois to see the old B&O line, which would later become the CSX Illinois Sub and be CSX's main line across Illinois for several years. However, when Conrail was split up in 1998 and CSX gained control of the St. Louis line that runs from Indianapolis to St. Louis in 1999, this left the old Illinois Subdivision to sit nearly dormant. The line was cut in 2015 between Caseyville and Flora, and it appears CSX has no future plans for this portion of the historic rail line. And a trip to the Illinois side of the St. Louis area would not be complete without a visit to Collinsville and the world's largest ketchup bottle. Our next Railfan stop was on the way home from the Lake of the Ozarks, along the Roothouse subdivision of CPKC, a former Chicago and Alton and Gulf Mobile and Ohio line also a former KCS line constructed in 1870 by St. Louis, Jacksonville, and Chicago Railroad. Along this line near Vandalia, Missouri, we caught some maintenance of way equipment.
CPKC action, maintenance of way, somewhere in rural Missouri.
And then our final Railfan stop was in Louisiana, Missouri, along the Mississippi River, where this CPKC subdivision crosses at a diamond with BNSF's Hannibal Subdivision, and we were fortunate enough to catch a train on BNSF crossing over the diamond.
Sign there for the rail crew, CPKC railroad crossing, and BNSF's Hannibal Sub in Louisiana, Missouri, right along the Mississippi River.
We hope you enjoyed this summertime family road trip and would like to thank my wife and daughter for being patient enough to allow Cole and I to stop and do some rail fanning along the way. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.